Hi, I'm James from the Personal Trainer, and today I've made a video that covers one of my favourite forms of enrichment, which is teaching your dog to search using their nose. Dogs are born hunters and foragers. They aren't built to eat from bowls or graze on biscuits all day. Their sense of smell is around 100 times stronger than ours, and it is their primary sense. So scent work is so valuable for building food motivation, confidence, focus, calmness, and it's especially great for dogs who can't do high impact exercise like puppies, senior dogs, or those dogs recovering from injury. This session is a really simple scent game that you can do at home, no special equipment needed. So let's get into it. Right, then we move into uh, like super basic find it games. So this is just like a real easy scatter feed. And if we picture like the circle around Ralph being like the obvious and easy place to find, I'd say find it and chuck some food on the floor, and then he sniffs and finds it. So we can just repeat that. Ralphie, find it. And then he gets his nose down and he sniffs. And we make it really, really easy to start with. Find it. Find it. So he's sniffing around. He's found one there, look. You can use your dog's food for this. You can use kibble. It doesn't have to be high value. This is pet pate that I've got at the moment, but it doesn't have to be that. Like, I would encourage you probably to use your dog's dinner every day or breakfast. Ralphie, find it. Like making it really, really easy. So that's like level one, you know, because he's seeing the food and then he's getting his nose down and he's looking for it. When he's doing that pretty reliably, so he's find it, looking. We just put a verbal cue in front of it just so he knows the game we're playing. Then all I would do is just increase the difficulty. So get a handful of food, Ralphie, find it, and then chuck it on the grass. And I wouldn't rush straight to this because you could see how a dog would lose their interest quite quickly because that might be too difficult. So I probably scattered 5 bits of food there. I think he's got 2 of them. So he's keeping his nose down, he's still looking. That's because he's played these games before and he knows that, there he goes, found another one. So he knows not to give up straight away. Your dog, if you haven't played this a lot, they might give up real quick because they just don't know that the food's still there and that they need to keep foraging to find it. So yeah, definitely make it nice and easy to start with. Ralph's got a little bit more resilience because he's played it before, so he's found another bit. And then you can see how you can scale that. So you could, you know, especially if you've got a big dog who has a big bowl of like kibble or you know, even wet food, you can scatter feed. Obviously, it's a little bit more difficult, but if you had a big bowl of kibble and you threw that across this whole garden, you could have your dog out here for 20 minutes looking for their foraging for their dinner or their breakfast and actually working for their food. And you need a food motivated dog to do that. Like, they're not going to do it if they're not food motivated. All dogs should be food motivated because it keeps them alive. Sometimes you just need to bring that out of them a little bit and encourage some of those natural instincts. So yeah, good one to start with. Ralphie, find it. So now we're going to move on to the next step, which is we're going to get him actually tracking a scent rather than just food. So what we've just done there is scatter fed. We've put food on the ground, nice and obvious for the dog. Find it. You go and sniff out the food, which they obviously can smell pretty easily, and then they scoop it up, eat it. Now we're going to make that a little bit more difficult because you're now going to smell something that you're not going to actually eat, but you are going to get the reward. So firstly, we need to pair the smell with the reward. So we're going to make this really nice and simple. I wanted one of those cotton balls, but we haven't got any, so I've nicked one of my wife's makeup wipes, but it's going to absorb the smell of this, and it's just vanilla bean extract. So you can use vanilla extract, you can use clove, ginger. Don't ever use anything like pepper or anything like that because we don't want them to, smell something that's going to aggravate them, their sense of smell. That'll have the opposite effect of what we're after. We want something that smells like reasonably nice to them, but it's quite distinctive. So you know he won't smell vanilla bean extract too often. So it's going to be nice and obvious that this smell is paired with something. Got a bit of extract on the cotton pad, and then all I'm going to do. So I've got my pot of treats. We've got a few here, so there's probably like 10 in there. So we're going to do 10 repetitions of it. Look for his nose to move, so you can kind of watch their nose and then take it away. So I'm going to remove the smell, sniffs it, food comes after. I've removed it, sniffs it, food comes after. Keep it there long enough that he actually, you know, I can see him smelling it. Yeah. Perfect. Get a few more repetitions of that. So what we're doing, like classical conditioning, the smell of that means that. Like nice and simple. Need to be like reasonably quick with your treat delivery. Like it should be kind of smell food like fairly rapidly. But I do want the presentation of the smell to come first. So I don't want to have the food in my hand because then it's almost leading into it. I want it to be really clear. It's the smell of that leads to that. A more advanced version would be like an actual behaviour, like if you see a scent dog that goes and sits next to something or indicates a smell, you can build that in. But because we're just doing this as an enrichment game and as a food motivation game, like the more important thing is we just get him smelling so we can move on to the next step. Okay, so we've now got a dog that will forage for their food. They'll put their nose down, and hopefully we've built some duration in there. So we've had a big hands full of food, and they've kept their nose down, sniffed, found the majority of it, and haven't given up. So we've built a little bit of resilience in continuing to persevere with that behaviour. We've paired a scent with food in a classical conditioning style, and we should be able to see the dog getting visibly excited by the fact that they've just smelt that, because that is the precursor for what comes next, which is something good, something tasty. So I've now got my scent, and we will now be marking when the dog finds the scent. Now, if you haven't implemented a marker, as in a clicker, a yes, a good, a word that basically tells your dog that that was the behaviour that we were after, I'd encourage you to go and watch my video on charging a marker. But if you've already got a marker in place, so it's nice and clear to your dog when they do the right thing, now we can quite simply build in finding this new scent and then rewarding for it. And this is how you do it. So I'm going to put this down. Yes, good boy. Head pops up because he's seen it, because I've marked it. Buffy, come here. Move him away over treat. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. Find it. Yes, good boy. Because he's got a charged marker, the second I say yes, he comes straight back for his reward. Because he knows what it means. Find it. Nose down. Brain working away. What do I need to do? Yes, good boy. Cool. Okay, so I've put Ralph outside the door. The scent is there. So that's just a new spot. He hasn't found it in that position before. Gonna let him back in. Find it. Yes, good boy. So same thing again, hidden it under there. Now, I can push that under a little bit further so he probably has to get his nose in there. We'll let him back in. Find it. Straight over. Cool. Yes, good boy. So those repetitions inside have gone pretty well. So I'm going to take him outside now, make it a little bit more difficult and see how he gets on with that. Okay, so first one outside. So we're going to make this nice and easy for him. So I'm just going to put it out in the open. He can come and find it. We'll do one rep. I'll put him back inside, then I'll make it a little bit more difficult for him. What I don't want him to do is get frustrated or give up. Like I want him wanting more. I want him to keep wanting to find it. If I make it too difficult to start with, he's not going to want to do that. So this is going to be quite an obvious one. We'll do this repetition, then we'll make it a little bit harder on the next one. So it's ready to go. Find it. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy, well done. So that one was nice and easy. I'm going to put him back inside and we'll try and make it a bit more difficult. So I'm going to put it in there. So it's in the bush, not covered up, so the smell can still move around a fair bit. He should still be able to pick up the scent, but it's not going to be as obvious as just being able to look for it. I want him to smell it. Find it. Like I might give him a little, I might say the cue again if he doesn't look like he's making progress, just to keep him on track. But ideally, we just want him to work it out, and we're in no rush here. Like we don't want him to get frustrated, we don't want him to give up, but we also want, the idea is it's enrichment. It's not meant to be super easy. I am slightly concerned he's picked up the scent of the treat part, but that's fine. You can see that outside is more difficult than what we were doing just inside. Like I'd probably want to play a lot more reps inside, hiding it around, getting him looking before I moved on to outside. But I just wanted to demonstrate in the video so you can kind of see the idea. Oh, he's got the scent. Had a little look there. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Clever boy. And there you go. That was possibly a touch difficult for him. Didn't take him too long, but you could see him kind of looking to me a little bit for like, is what I'm actually looking for, which is not really what we want. We want him to be a little bit more sure of what they're finding and resilient in sort of carrying on sniffing until they do. But he did find it in the end. So I will probably build that up with a few more repetitions in the house. A few more repetitions outside with just like some easier reps, but like I said, this is an enrichment game. We're not looking to create border control dogs. We're just giving them a bit of fun, good for a rainy day, or like I say, if your dog's old or injured, they use so much brain power, so much of their natural instincts in sniffing, and they don't need to charge around. They don't need to be ball chasing. They can just get that fix of being a dog, just with a few parameters to make it a little bit more structured, and yeah, it helps them enjoy it. So give it a try.